You're on.
Everybody, welcome to another post-game huddle here on KHOE 11's Facebook page. I'm Jason Bristol, surrounded by all of the fine, hardworking people here at KHOE 11. Texans, oh boy, 41-7 is your final. As always, we're doing our post-game huddle. We need one word. Something just fell behind me. Oh, thanks, Larry. Whew. Woo! Microphone. We need one word to describe what we saw today in Baltimore. I'm going to steal one from Daniel Gotera right away. Daniel Gotera, colleague here, he came up with one word, and I'm going to steal his. Awful. Right? Awful. Texans, we're down 27-0 after 3. I think we really have to seriously think now, how much confidence do you have in this team if they make the playoffs that they can win a game in the playoffs? I mean, Baltimore certainly is one of those teams that you would count as one of the favorites now in the AFC, and if that's a measuring stick right there, Baltimore's down here, Houston's way back here on that measuring stick. So give us your words. I have Corey here help me out. Corey, see any words yet? Or
Yeah, we got terrible, bad.
Hold on. Let me go. Let's see. Terrible. Larry back here said you can't put lipstick on a pig. And that definitely was a pig game. Stench, yeah. What else we got?
We got typical.
Oh, typical. All right. We got typical. And once again, I'm having a hard time loading the page, so I'm going to have to rely on you, Corey, to give me what we've got here cooking. Wow, Lamar Jackson, I said last week on Sports Extra, seems to be the flavor of the month right now. Well, that flavor is now carrying into the next month and the next month and the next month. Texans, I was listening to the Ravens broadcast on the way in, and they just said that they just thought that Baltimore, that coaching staff, had basically confused Houston in every aspect of the game. That really the Texans just seemed like they were baffled by what the Ravens were doing. Certainly the scoreboard. Let's see here. Must be real fun watching a guy on Facebook trying to get his Facebook page up so he can read the comments. What else we got, Corey?
We got Doris and Karen both said pathetic.
Pathetic. Pathetic. Boy, it hasn't really been a really good weekend in Houston sports, has it? You've got the sign-stealing saga getting worse and worse for the Astros. And now you've got this stinker of a game by the Texans, 41-7. We're looking for one word. One word, everybody.
Macy
what else
says
we got?
Underwhelming.
Underwhelming. You know, I thought of that one earlier. Underwhelming. Awful, terrible, typical, pathetic, underwhelming. There we go. I think now I've got it. Here we go. Silence this. Here we go. Deborah says the sign stealing is crap. Whew. I don't know, Deborah. It's not looking good. Everybody does it, but it appears as though the Astros may have taken it to another degree. And that appears to be the root of the problem. So we're going to be talking about that tonight on KHOE 11 Sports Extra. Jeremy Booth, former Major League scout, will be here. Seth Payne, obviously, will be helping us with our Texans coverage tonight. Gilbert says, pitiful. Oops. You know, somebody here said this was supposed to be a shootout, this game, right? That was what we were expecting, but apparently only one team brought a gun to the fight. So Let's see here. Pitiful. Rockets are winning. Beatrice, that's a good point. That's a good point. Protection. Doris says protection. You know, some of those sacks were not the offensive line's fault. Deshaun, as he is known to do, does hold on to the ball quite a bit. So for too long. Lifeless. Sean says lifeless. You see any good ones there, Corey?
Kathy says sickening.
Sickening. Boy, we got some really good words here, huh? Awful, terrible, typical, pathetic, underwhelming, pitiful, lifeless, sickening. It's going to be a fun flight back to Houston for those guys, huh? Jeff says laughable. I think one good thing was that they got Deshaun out of the game, right? Because you don't need him getting hurt. What else do we have here? Jeff had laughable. Deborah says, Coach, it had nothing to do with him. You know, what's interesting about this game, Bill O'Brien, throughout his career, has had a really good record, strong record coming off the bye week. So this was very atypical of him. Although someone here said typical, might be atypical. What else do we have here? Let's see. Discouraging. That's a good one, Doris. Let's see. Robert says, same coach, same result, a week off, and this is the typical garbage us Houstonians are used to. Done with the Texans. Ouch. But again, if you look at the stats, Bill O'Brien is normally a good coach, or at least the Texans fare very well after a bye week. That's been his history throughout his time here. So let's see. What was the one I said? Discouraging. That's right. Usually Larry here in the back has something to offer. Larry, anything? Deplorable. Wow. Wow, Larry's really good at this. See, Corey, this is your first time doing this. So now you're getting a sense, Corey, that typically our go-to guy back here is Larry. Deplorable. He'll forever go in the post-game huddle Hall of Fame for offering slobberknocker. That was back in what, week 3 or something like that? We've also banned a word. The word that we banned was supercalifragilisticexpialidocious after a win. I said no more. No more. All right, what else do we have here? Expected. Justin says Bill is not our coach for the long haul. Sorry. I mean, right now, he's the coach and the GM, so we'll see. Jeff says, go Oilers, where's bum? Let's see. Paco says, instead of wasting time watching the Texans, get out and run or exercise. Douglas says they're playing like the old Browns. Jeff says, go Larry. So, catastrophe, which I think for this would be catastrophic, although that seems a little bit much to call this game, to call this one catastrophic. I would say, I'm going to be the jury on that one. I'm going to say that's a little too harsh because remember this team is still 6-4 now. So that, again, you know, it's always interesting. I always like hearing the other team's broadcast, and a number of times the Ravens broadcast team had mentioned that this Texans team, they were impressed by how much they weren't giving up, like they weren't rolling over. The play-by-play guy for the Baltimore Ravens, his name is Jerry Sandusky.
Not that.
Right?
Not that Jerry Sandusky.
But not that Jerry Sandusky. In fact, during that very unfortunate time in college football, Penn State, Jerry Sandusky, the Penn State defensive coordinator, is Jerry. The Ravens play-by-play announcer, Jerry Sandusky, is Gerry. So as you can imagine, on Twitter, people were throwing their venom at the Ravens play-by-play guy, and he had to, I think on his Twitter page it now says, on the headline, it says "Not that Jerry Sandusky." So that's a little history lesson for everybody. Justin says we were outplayed. Simple as that. I agree. Ravens are the hottest team in the league right now. You can't argue with that. 41-7 is your final. Texans. No points until that fourth quarter. We have a drive of the game that we do every night on Sports Extra Sunday night. Someone came to me and said, well, what do you do if there's no touchdown for the Texans or no points? What would you do then for the drive of the game? And I said, well, first of all, we're professionals. We'll work through that. Second of all, I said we probably would have gone with the drive, either the one with the pass interference call that wasn't called or the missed field goal by Fairbairn. But that's another thing. For a while, we didn't know what a catch was in the National Football League. Now I don't know if, hey, Daniel's here.
How's it going?
I'm good.
How are you?
You want
Can I join you?
Yeah, well, actually, your word right here was the first one. I saw you on, I saw your Facebook page. That was
Facebook,
awful.
yeah.
So I put that was number one.
I also, you could add Rockets to that list. Rockets, they played pretty well last night.
They did.
Yeah.
This is one word to sum up the Texans game
Yeah.
today. Yeah, as you can imagine, awful,
pretty
terrible,
pathetic.
terrible. Right there, pathetic.
Yeah.
Awful, pathetic.
The question I have is, how do you have a bye week and come back and lay an egg like?
Yeah, I don't know.
Holy
They've been throughout his history here. The Texans have been very good off bye weeks
Yeah.
with O'Brien.
Yeah, I think. I mean, obviously, I'm not saying that pass interference missed call at the beginning had any.
But it does
had
set a
any
tone,
bearing.
though,
Yeah,
right?
that's right. It does set a tone. That was pass interference. I think Dan Fouts said it was pass interference 3 different ways, and they still missed it. I think after the game, Bill O'Brien did say he doesn't even know what pass interference is anymore.
That's what we were just saying.
Yeah,
I don't know what
so
pass
I don't know what it
interference
is
is.
anymore. So I don't know if that would have made sense. Oh, am I going to get a microphone?
Oh, wow. Look at this.
Might as well.
Hey.
Might as well. This is Corey, everybody.
All right. So yeah, I just think they didn't have any rhythm.
Nope.
There was no rhythm whatsoever from the very beginning. So
I was telling him it's been a tough weekend here
yeah,
in some ways.
a little bit of a tough weekend. Yeah, we'll get into the Astros talk tonight.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
Joe says
Okay.
we got Sandusky.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I was explaining to them
Yes.
that the play-by-play guy for the Ravens is Jerry Sandusky.
Oh.
But he spells it with a G, Jerry.
Oh, I got you.
And then during
okay.
the whole Penn State scandal, he was getting a lot of
Oh, I bet.
yeah. So
They didn't. You know what today reminded me of?
what?
Today reminded me of that one Jim Mora rant back when he was with the Saints.
Which one? The playoffs?
No, that was
Okay.
when he was with the Colts then.
Oh, with the Saints.
When
I
he was
gotcha.
with the Saints, it says that was a pretty poor second half. We couldn't run the ball. We couldn't pass. That the Ravens were getting home. Now Deshaun was holding the ball too much today. I really
I
felt like
agree.
I
Yep.
don't know if the offensive line didn't play a great game.
No,
they
I-
weren't great
No, you're right. You're
by
right.
any stretch of the imagination, but Deshaun was holding the ball too long today.
Yep.
And I think that was a big part of the problem.
All right. So, which word do we like here?
Well,
all these
Jason,
words.
I don't like any of those words.
Which word best sums up? Which word are we gonna choose? Who wants to go first?
I don't know about discouraging because honestly, they've never won in Baltimore. You don't want to lose by 34 points,
Yeah.
but
Anywhere.
I think a lot of people would have probably said they're going to lose this game.
Debacle. Okay.
Debacles, okay.
That's a vote.
I just unprepared. Is that one? Is not unprepared's not there.
Somebody mentioned that.
I mean, they just weren't prepared to play today. Not having Will Fuller is tough in this, and then Kiki QT finally gets his.
We got 2 words. We got 2 votes for awful.
Yep.
All right. Don't forget to watch us tonight. KHOE 11 Sports Extra.
to crash the party.
No, I'm happy to have you. Please.
Okay. All right.
I mean, there's plenty of people here saying, "Thank goodness Daniel stopped by." So that's awesome.
That was my mom. Thanks, Mom. I appreciate that. I told her that I was going to be here.
All right. So big smile here. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us here on the post-game huddle here on the KHOE 11 Facebook page.